Well, here we go again. You ready? Let's get right on it today. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of alizarin crimson. And the canvas has already been covered with a thin, even coat of magic white. So let's just put a tiny little bit of crimson right up here. I thought today we'd maybe we'll do a little water wheel. A lot in this painting, so I'm going to just take off and get started here. Without cleaning the brush, go right into a little tiny bit of phthalo blue. And right out here on the edges and bring it right up to the crimson. Just like so. Okay, just want a little spot in the center there that's got a little life in it. Now with a clean, dry brush, just very gently blend all this together. And most of this pinkish color will just disappear. I just want a little light spot up here. Okay, I think we're ready. Okay, now I'm gonna go right into alizarin crimson and Prussian blue. Just mix it on the brush. Maybe we'll put some little distant tree indications way back here in the distance. Just drop them in. We're not looking for a lot of detail. We want these to be far, far away. There we go. Just little things happening in the distance. Oh, there's one. Just wherever you think they might be. Now, let's go right into some Van Dyke brown, a little alizarin crimson, and just begin dropping in a few shapes. So we'll put some sap green in there too. So we got sap green, alizarin crimson, and Van Dyke brown. There's a little tree, just wherever you think there might be one. Let's just drop some little things in. And don't kill all these little things that you put back here to indicate trees that are far, far away. Leave them in there. Maybe there's a big tree here. Something like so. And we'll give him some little friends down here. Okay, that gives us a quick little background. I really want to spend some time working on the water wheel, so we'll try to just do this real rapidly and get into the serious stuff. Okay, now, let's use the fan brush today. We'll just take some Van Dyke brown, put a little bit of white on one side, brown and white, and we'll just jump right up here and put a quick little trunk right in that. Maybe there's one over here, a few little sticks and twigs. Wash the fan brush. Okay, now let's use the 1-inch brush and put some highlights on these. Let's put a little bit of magic white into the brush just to thin it down a little. Yellow and sap green. Yellow and sap green. Makes a beautiful, beautiful tree color. There we go. And just drop some little highlights here. There. Let's get a little bit of yellow ochre in here too. What the heck? Just put a few little highlights back in that little tree. A few little things happening all over. Okay. And we'll put some sap green and yellow on this one. Maybe we'll brighten that up a touch. There we go. That's better. A little more paint on the brush, and we can lay some right in there. Just let these little leaves just flow right off your brush. They live right in this little 1-inch brush. You have to sort of scare them out sometime. Okay. A little bit of Indian yellow, too. I like Indian yellow. It's a very transparent color. It's very nice if you're ever working on the black canvases. And we'll drop a few little things in there. A little permanent red. A little red bush right there. What the heck? Okay. Now maybe somewhere right along in here we have to make a decision. Maybe there's a little stream coming right down through here. Let's add a tiny bit of blue to that. Maybe it just wanders right down here like so. Put the dark in first. And a little bit of Van Dyke brown. And we can put some banks back here. Just however you want the land to flow. There we go. And we can take some brown and white, a little touch of blue. And we can make some nice highlight colors and just drop right on there. This is just sort of a gray color. Something like so. Now then, let's take the fan brush. We'll use some yellow ochre, sap green. There we go. And let's just put some little grassy things that grow right down the bank back here. There they are. Just let them go, wherever you think they should be. And we'll put some right over in here. Follow the lay of the land, so it gives the impression that the land's coming down like that. Okay, now, a little magic white, a little firm white, and we can slip right up in here and begin adding a little water. Make it look like a happy little stream. It's just playing through the meadow. Zoop. Maybe there's a little bloop right there. Bloop. Just take the fan brush and drop them in. Just so it's not completely even. Okay, there we go. That gives us a bubbling little stream coming down. Gotta have something to turn the wheel. And let's go right back in here and lay in a little bit of the dark color. It's just Van Dyke brown, just to give us a nice base. Okay, a little bit of the highlight. Okay, and then we can put some little grassy areas back in there. There they are. Still following the lay of the land. Always try to follow the lay of the land. Add a little bit of sap green there. Well, it's about time we made a decision here. Where is our water wheel going to be? And like we did when we did the covered bridge, it's really better to scrape out a basic shape. Just decide basically where your wheel is going to be. And it removes the loose, thin paint, and it gives you a guide to follow. And sometimes that's very helpful to you. So we'll just, ooh, isn't that terrible going through there and scraping off all those trees you worked so hard to put on? And we need a tall building for this wheel to be on. Big, tall building. So how about there? Be brave. Just drop it in. It really makes it easier. Once again, if you get this loose paint out from off the canvas, it really and truly helps. Okay, now we can just take the Van Dyke brown and just go right up here and begin building us a house. And all we're doing is putting the brown in, so we don't have to worry about detail or shape right now. Just drop it in. Then we'll come back and begin adding all the little highlights. Okay, there we go, right over here. Put that little back eave on that building. And we need some long boards. Just drop them in. Let them fall right off the knife. There they go. Need a tall building here, so our wheel, we want a big wheel. Big wheel. I think my son used to ride one of those when he was very small. Okay. There, that gives us a basic shape for our building. Okay, now we can begin putting in some highlights. Let's use a little bit of the umber, Van Dyke, touch of titanium white. Maybe a little more of the umber. Want it a little more into the reddish hue. There we go. That's a nice color. And mix your paint marbly so all kinds of colors happen when you come down here. Old building. I like old buildings. They're so much more fun to paint than bright, shiny new ones. And we can add a little more there. Just brighten that rascal up a little bit. And we need some right down this side over here. Now, let's add a little bit more of the Van Dyke brown, darken this color up a little bit, and we'll do the dark side of the building first. Touch, and just go down. Let the paint break so it looks like old wood here. Just touch, and go down. Isn't that something? Okay, now, the front of the old mill here, we need to have a little bit lighter because the light's going to be striking in this direction. So I've just added a little bit of white to the same color. And just drop it right down like that. Makes nice looking old wood. We can take a little bit of color on the knife, a dark color, and we can put some boards in here. Like so. A lot of times when they built these, they'd put a little, maybe there's right up here, just a little tiny little projection right there. And just drop that right in. And fill that up full of dark paint. Then we can come back and highlight it. Just put a little highlight right there. A little bit right there. And maybe we'll make this one right here quite bright. Just come across. There we go. And now, just come straight down and cut that off. That'll get you the right angle in there. You can put some little board indications. And we got a little roof. That's all there is to it. Okay, you ready to build the wheel? Probably the same thing as before. It's easier if you sort of scrape off some of this loose paint. So let's start right here and make part of the wheel. And then right here, ooh, there goes the building. Now, one of the big things here, I want this to show through. It's very important to me that this part show through so you can see depth inside of this wheel. So we just scrape that right off like that. Go right into the Van Dyke brown, touch. And sort of fill it up. Shoop. Touch, come around. Just come right on around. Now, how do you make a round circle with a square knife? That's your challenge for the day. And want to see the back of the wheel back here, so we'll just do that. Now let's just take a little bit of paint thinner, a little bit of yellow ochre, and let's just highlight this little rascal here a little bit. There we go. Just to highlight it. And we can work that paint right in. Maybe we'll take the fan brush. It's a little faster. There. That's better. Pull that right around like there. Now we need a little bit of water on this wheel. So let's start right up in here somewhere. Maybe there's just the littlest indication of water, and as it comes down, more and more and more. Now you could go real slow and put the water in between each one of these little pegs, but this is much easier. Then we go back and put the pegs over the water. Sneaky, huh? And we just drop that right in, come right on up like that. Back to our little fan brush. We'll bring this right on around. Just like that. Son of a gun. We got a basic water wheel already. Okay. Now, got to have something to hold the wheel up. So let's just do this. Come all the way through that way, all the way through that way. Maybe all the way through that way, and that way. Just have all kind of fun. Then we need a rod that goes through here, a big shaft to hold it up. So we'll put that in. Now, let's put some spokes on the other side. From there, there. Let's bring this one right on down like that. Right over here. Right about there. And maybe there. Now on these, we need a little bit of highlight on the ones on the outside. So just touch. Just put a little bit of highlight out here. Don't overdo. Just enough to make them stand out. Create a little depth in there. And we can take our liner brush and smooth all this up. There. And by golly, we got a pretty good wheel going here. And at home, you have a lot of time, so you can really put some detail into this if you'd like. Here, we're just trying to show you how to do it. Okay, got us a wheel. Maybe there's another little projection that comes right out through here, just like this. That easy. Just drop it in. Okay, we'll put a little bit of highlight on that. And we need some boards to hold that little shed up. Some right out here. There we go. A little bit of highlight out here. Let's brighten it. There. That's what we're looking for. A little dark area right there. There's always a little shadow there. Little tiny shadow in this one, too. There we go. Okay. Now, let's go right over here and decide where the land is. Right here. Maybe it comes down like so, so it just leaves you a little stream back here. Just drop it in. Now then, with a fan brush and a little bit of the sap green and yellow, and we can put some little grassy areas coming right down here. Isn't that something? Okay. Now we got to have something to hold this wheel up. We don't want it just to float out there in space. So we'll take some Van Dyke brown and we'll put a little block right there that holds it up. And then we have, maybe there's a little stone thing here. There. That's got to have a place to sit. We just put it right there. Bring it down. Maybe it comes right on over like this. Big stone thing. That's holding up a lot of weight. A lot of weight. There we go. Now let's take a little permanent red here. Make that look like maybe old bricks or something, and just give you a little indication. That's permanent red with a little brown and a little white in it. And there's some little things on the side here. Yeah, something like so. Just a basic idea. Okay. Now, let's just bring some land right down like that. Here it comes. There it is. Maybe there's a nice tree that lives right here. Let's just drop him in. Just a nice little tree growing up right here beside the mill. Squirrels got to have a little place to play. Maybe there's limbs that come right over here. Oh, right over all of our building we've worked so hard on. There we go. Just some little things happening. And take a little bit of this reddish looking color and just drop a little highlight on this tree. just on the trunk down here. With our big brush, we can just use some sap green, crimson, a little Van Dyke brown. And let's real quickly drop some little leafy things on this tree. Right over my building. There we go. Just let them flow around. A little bit of thin paint. And we can come right back in here and drop some little highlights all over this. Just make some leaves in this tree. There we are. That doesn't look too bad in front of that building, son of a gun. It sort of pushes it back and gives it some character. There. Okay. Now, let's take a little bit of the dark color. Just pull it right straight down here. We need some dark in the water. Just pull it down. This will make our water stand out a little better. Go across. Okay, now we can get in here and start working with a little bit of water. Need a little magic white just to thin it down a little bit. And this water is going to just sort of dribble around and fall. And let it just sort of come off the sides here and fall right down. It's a slow old wheel. It didn't have a lot of pressure on it. It hits down here and it splashes a little bit. Like that. And there's a few little grassy areas that live right down to the water. There. Okay, now, there has to be something here to keep the stream from coming around because water is lazy. It'd find a way to sneak around. So we'll put a little gate right here, and we just do that by going shoop. And then turning it. Shoop. And put a little touch of highlight right there, and one right up the center. Just right up the center. And the least little touch and go, shoo, shoo. Just make it look old. There we go. Now, we drop some water in here. Just like that. Okay. So we're coming right along here. Put a little bit of highlight on those little pieces of dirt right there. And let's maybe bring some ground area right through. There we are. There it is. And just had to find it. Knew it was there somewhere. There we go. A little bit of highlight on that, just in case some of it shows through. Now, let's take and put some little grassy things that just flow right down the hill here, like so. There they go. By golly. Now, need some over here on the other side, so let's just drop them in. Just let them flow with the lay of the land. Okay, now we can go back to our magic white and titanium white and begin dropping in a few more little things here and there. Just clean the edges up a little here. There we go. Just like so. Gives you a good idea of what can be done. Maybe, let's take a little bit of thin paint. Very thin, so it'll stick. And maybe right here, there's a nice little bush that lives. Ah, there's one right there, too. Them little rascals are everywhere. And we can put a few little stems in there using a little brown that's been thinned down. Just like so, here and there. We can use the point of the knife. Let's go back in here and just drop in a few little sticks here and there. We just need to have those in there, give it a little depth. Really helps to push things back. Now next week, we're gonna do a crazy one. So have your black canvas ready, and we'll have a super time together. And I think this little painting's about ready for a signature, so let's do it. Take a little bit of the thin oil. Ooh, a little more thin oil. There we go. A little permanent red. And very quickly, we'll drop a little signature in there and call this one just about finished. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's something a little different. It'll give you a little challenge when you're doing it at home. So until next time, from all of us here, happy painting. God bless. See you next week.